McFadzean is Managing Director for Catalpa Resources, joining us now on the phone from Perth in Australia to talk about where the metal may be headed. Bruce, thanks very much indeed for joining us. You know, what's the main mechanism for this leap up in the gold price? We've seen people just perhaps getting away out of the euro, so they're deciding either to go into the perception that the dollar is perhaps a safe asset or gold. Would you agree?
Oh, look, certainly. I mean, I think what gold thrives on is volatility and uncertainty in the market, and I think that's what you're seeing. And the gold price has been rising steadily for the last 18 months, and there's been a few ups and downs in that period, but it's a consistent trend upward. And I think as long as we have this uncertainty with currencies, with debt, we're going to have a continued lift in gold price.
Bruce, normally, of course, when the price of gold goes up, we normally have the dollar going down, but they're both rising at the moment. So this decoupling has taken place. We see this happening from time to time. How long will this decoupling last for this time?
Yeah, well, look, if we knew what was going to happen, we'd probably be all very wealthy and on a boat in the Bahamas or something like that. But the fact of it is we don't. But the encouraging sign for me is that decoupling. I mean, typically, if you saw the gold price, and we had a flight to the dollar back in 2008 when the global financial crisis was sort of peaking, I guess, you saw often in those times, you saw the gold price coming off or remaining steady. But you've seen the weakness in the US dollar earlier this year. You've seen some more uncertainty come about now. And typically I would have expected the gold price in US dollars to either stay steady or go down in relation to the strength in the US dollar. But we have seen the decoupling, and with the strength in the US dollar in the last month or so, we've seen the gold price continue on its march upwards. So I think that's a significant event.
Bruce, just very quickly, if I'm talking to you at the end of the year, what's going to be the gold price at that point?
Well, we're always guessing this.
Of course.
Look, I think from in US terms, it's probably going to march towards that $1,400 mark. Of course, that has a various impact on depending on where other currencies are against that US gold price. And I think the interesting one is for Australia at the moment. We're at about sort of a $1,440 gold price now, simply because the US dollar's strong and the Australian dollar's fallen off significantly. So it's always a guess, but in US terms, I think 1,400 is probably a reasonable number to assume.
Bruce McFadzean, thank you very much indeed for joining us just on the phone there from Perth in Australia. Let's have